Good afternoon or evening. Good evening. This is going to be the all signs reading. I apologize if you hear any noise across the street from my house. I have like the noisiest neighbors in the world. It's really even hard to meditate sometimes just because of all the racket. That's why literally I will just go out in the woods and go out by the water to meditate. I had plans to make this this morning, but I had kind of a rough morning because I had a conflict come up, and it was like, I have said this before, but we simulate our experiences. And so, for some reason, I had simulated this demo this morning. Well, I mean, I know all the reasons behind it. And so it was somewhat of a conflict. And I had woke up this morning, and sometimes it takes a lot to like knock me off my square, but this morning it did. And so for like 2-3 hours this morning I was in very, very low vibrations. It's like I have forgot everything that I teach. Everything went out the fucking window, so to speak. And but what I learned from that was that there is a reason for it. When we do go into lower energies, I know I do sometimes, and I tend to judge it. And I'm like, man, did I mess up somehow? Is it something I did wrong? No, I was able to see why it happened that way, why it played out that way, why I even fed into it to begin with. And it was amazing. It was so amazing because I was like, I understand now why this happens. And then I got to the point where I was like, give me more. Give me more. Because my soul wanted more. I wanted more lessons. I wanted to learn more. I wanted to experience more. And it no longer was a struggle. And it was just such a beautiful energy. But I shifted so profoundly this morning that I fell into a deep sleep and slept all day. I literally, it's 6 o'clock here in Indiana, 6 o'clock p.m. I literally have slept all day. I've been asleep since about like 12:30. I slept all day long. I got up and, kind of watched a little bit of Netflix. I really don't, watch TV. I haven't watched TV. I haven't had TV service in my house for a long time. But over the past month or so, I've been watching a little bit of Netflix. So I did that. But with that being said, even though there's noise across the street and it's a little late in the evening and my stomach's growling, I'm probably going to go get something to eat when I get done with this video. The time was right, and my energy was right to do this video. So with that very long public service announcement, I'm going to go ahead and get started. The first card that we have is the Crone Ascension card. And this is an earth energy. So once you begin ascending, and ascension is a very real thing, you can even be experiencing physical symptoms. I thought I was losing my mind because I knew I wasn't eating any differently. I wasn't doing anything any differently. And all of a sudden my stomach just starts swelling. And like some days I feel like I look 9 months pregnant. I have been told, by my inner knowledge, my inner guidance, that this is basically all in my head. But, for one thing, I've always dealt with like, eating disorders and feeling some kind of way about my weight anyway. So I feel like, it's like a lesson, like a 2-in-1. Yes, this is an ascension symptom because your body starts changing because you have to adjust to the higher vibrations. Your body does. Your body's still very 3D, so you have this 5D energy flowing through you. Once you start grounding that into the physical, as I have been, and your body has to adjust to it. So, you can experience, chakra openings. Like I spent like 2 weeks. I didn't do anything special whatsoever. All of a sudden my chakras started opening, and like I started having pain like in my crown area, and in my eyes. I started having like my forehead. It felt like I had a real tight band on it. And then, I started having like these, heart palpitations. And understand, do see a doctor. This is my disclaimer. Do see a doctor if you need to. But what I'm saying is, each one of my chakras started opening. I had some downloads of clarity come to me when I've been watching Stranger Things on Netflix. I have to really be drawn to watch something, and then I almost like not analyze it, but I look for things, because what I have noticed is in the 3D physical realm with the media, especially with like movies and books, what better way or better place to hide but in plain sight. So, I used to think about the magic creatures and stuff, do they really exist? Where did humans come up with these ideas at? Where did they come up with this? It's because of the different dimensions, and as I'm watching Stranger Things, I'm like, you know what? I feel like with more and more people spiritually awakening than ever before, human beings are aware of the fact that there's other dimensions that are out there. And also, I felt very strongly, that a lot of Stranger Things is all about facing fears. And I talk about facing fears all the time, because the number one way that you can begin to ascend and really connect to the spirit realm is by clearing your fears. Because fears are the only thing standing in between you and what your heart desires, and your soul energy, because fears cannot exist there, because as souls we are fearless. I mean, because what do we have to be scared of? It's like we're gods and goddesses, in a physical form. And so these messages came out for me as I was watching this show. We have the Ocean Ebb and Flow card. And basically, the energy that I'm getting with this, and I have been literally channeling messages too lately. So it's not just that I'm reading the energy of the cards, but now I actually have channeled messages coming through, which is awesome. I've been trying to, ground that gift as well. Because at first it was, kind of set me off balance a little bit. But the message that's coming through with this ebb and flow is a lot of times we resist situations. My inner guidance about my weight gain is to not resist this. Don't resist it. And to eat higher vibrational foods. Tomorrow I'm going to get out of the house and go to the grocery store and get some higher vibrational foods. I'm being led and guided to get more nuts and seeds and fruits, fresh vegetables. I'm a vegetarian anyway. Sometimes I do seafood, but I'm really being guided to stay away from the dairy and the seafood and really focus on higher vibrational foods so I can keep up, my vibes right now. But whatever is going on with you right now in your life, stop resisting it. Just, be like, whatever. Just stop resisting it. Let it happen. Because when we do that, we keep the energy flowing. Otherwise, we anchor it in, and we end up stuck in that dimension, on that timeline, on that reality. Because believe it or not, we're bouncing all around different timelines all the time. And there can be several timelines of one reality. So whatever your reality is right now, whoever you're with, in a relationship with, wherever you work at, whatever else, I feel like, that is one reality. That is, where you're at right now. But there can be a variation of timelines going on where higher vibrational, where, you might walk in to work in a situation that you've been dealing with for a while because you stop resisting it, is better now. And you're like, whoa, what happened? I feel like that's going to happen for some people. This situation that you're dealing with, once you stop resisting it and you're like, you know what, it is what it is, I'm just going to accept this, watch it change, I'm telling you. And you're going to be amazed, and you're going to see exactly what I've been talking about. It's amazing. I've got this Three of Wind isolation card, and I really feel like this is an energy that a lot of us are feeling right now, because if you're like me, you can't really stand to be around a lot of different energies right now. And as you really start identifying what is ego and what is your true authentic self, anybody else who's very egotistical is just naturally going to repel you like never before. I have people that I just, and understand, I'm completely isolated. It's just me in a house. Every now and then, I will go visit somebody, or somebody will come by and visit me. I get out of the house for a couple hours here and there, and I go handle my sales, and I come right back. I'm very, very isolated. So basically, like, my social interactions right now are just social media. But, there have been so many people I've had to unfollow because it's just, that energy, I can't take it in. Even my divine partner this morning really irritated me, and I had to, and normally that doesn't really happen, but this morning I was like, whoa, you're irritating me. And you're bringing stress my way, and I don't like it, So that's the energy that I'm getting of being isolated and not wanting to be around others. Maybe you've missed some work. And it could be that conflict at work that's keeping you from going to work every day. I'm getting that's going on for somebody. But like I said, that is going to change. And the message that's coming through from Spirit right now is take the time to spend this time alone. Don't let anybody tell you that this is bad. I know when I've been so isolated, I have had a couple of people tell me it's not good to be so isolated. How are you going to tell me what's good and what's not good? You instinctively know what is good for you and what isn't good for you. So start trusting your intuition and stop listening to others. That message is coming through for somebody. But for that somebody, or those somebodies that are having a conflict on their job, the message that's coming through is that is going to change, but you need to stop resisting it. Just accept it. Just be like, all right, it is what it is. And sometimes we have to not always need to be right. Especially when you're dealing with someone who has a big ego. There's nothing wrong with being, whatever it is that you just said, yes, it's all that and then some. Can we move on from here now? Seriously, sometimes that's the energy you've got to be in. You've got to set your own ego aside, especially when you're dealing with people who are in their ego. This is the Star card. There is a lot of galactic type energy in this reading too, and so basically a lot of this could be happening. I know there's a lot going on right now with planets in retrograde, and there's a whole lot going on. I don't really follow it, just because basically any of the downloads of information that I get now, I get directly from source. So I'm not trying to read something that says that I'm supposed to feel a certain way, because that's kind of like going to the doctor. When you go to the doctor, they can tell you that you have something, and you can either accept that you do or accept that you don't. Because remember, whatever it is that you believe to be true is true. Which is why I'm very careful about what I take in, and I want to know for myself, is this true? Which is why, like I said, I connect myself. But I do know that there's a lot going on energetically right now, like in the galactic system, with planets and whatnot. And so I do feel like that's a lot of this energy that's coming in. I read so often that, people are like, oh, Lord, there's this retrograde and it's going to do this, that, or whatever else. You know what? Like I said, feel for yourself. How do you feel today? And these energies are powerful. I mean, I've been feeling them too, but work with them. Work with the energies. Instead of taking in what people tell you, like how you're supposed to feel for yourself and really, ebb and flow with it. This is that lunar energy that I'm getting. Do ebb and flow. The ocean and the moon, they ebb and flow together. It's like they're synchronized. And so I feel like that's a lot of what's going on with this energy in this reading, is that we're synchronizing with the universe itself. If you don't resist it. I don't know why, but for the past 2 weeks, I have been getting the message to move at the same time. You know, like with my divine partner, I'm trying to learn how to move when he moves, and let's move together and synchronize. It's kind of like synchronized skaters. So that's really the energy that I'm getting with this, and I feel like I can't really explain it, but the message that I'm channeling is that you guys know what I'm talking about. And we have the Chariot card, and basically what I'm getting with this is travel. And I really feel very strongly that for a lot of us, our heart's desires are coming like to us very quickly. Once you learn what's been blocking you, I know one of the messages that I channeled this morning before I passed out and fell into my coma for the day was that one of my major blocks to my heart's desire is that I want everything to be perfect. I'm thinking that everything, it's not so much that I want it to be perfect, because I would take it less than perfect. But I was told it was supposed to be perfect in order for it to come to me. So once again, look at any type of self-limiting blocks that you have read somewhere, somebody's told you, because you did not follow your own gut instinct, which is what this isolation time is for you to really connect. And I feel like a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about. So everything doesn't have to be perfect to come to you. You just have to tell yourself the story that you know that it is, and just believe it. And no fears, no doubts, just know. And it can come to you as on a chariot. This could be a person, this could be a job, this could be a situation. Like I said, a situation that, I can't remember which card I was using, but a situation that you've been going through, that you have been waiting for it to clear. Maybe you're having legal problems or financial problems. I'm getting for some people. But once you tell yourself better stories and believe them and have faith they're going to happen, whatever it is that you're trying to manifest can come to you as on a chariot. Okay, we have ritual invocation. And so this is that energy that I was talking about. This could be doing like a full moon ritual, a new moon ritual, believing in magic. And remember when I was saying a minute ago, like especially like with Disney movies and different fantasy movies, the best place to hide the truth is in plain sight. And magic is real. And it's so simple, because really magic and manifestation are the same energy. Manifestation is more law of attraction. And once you understand the law of attraction is nothing more than realizing you're a divine being in a human body, simulating in the 5D. In the 5D, you're simulating whatever experiences you're having. And once you become conscious and aware of that, you can start working with the energy. Like I said, work with these energies, these powerful energies that are here right now. Magic, on the other hand, is believing in magic, setting intentions, doing spells, doing candle work. I do all of these things too, just because I have a very witchy background. I have a hoodoo background, that witch doctor. If you watch my past lives reading, I talked about that. But basically with magic, you're basically dependent upon a higher power. You set it out there and you wait, and you petition your higher powers for this to happen. And so it's different levels of consciousness. Once you realize, and the reason why magic works is because people believe in it. They believe in it. Just like sometimes still when I have trouble believing in my own co-creative power with the universe, I will still petition my goddess, and I will put things on her altar, just because it's something tangible that I can focus on, because a lot of times we ourselves do not believe we are that powerful, so we have to depend upon a higher power. And so that's the difference here. And as you ascend, you will realize that. Conflict. Okay, so this is what what I'm getting with conflict, as far as, like I said, you have to get to the point where you realize that whatever is happening is something that your soul attracted for you. And your soul attracted it for you because of where you are vibing at, wherever your energy is at. What is it you're focused on right now? What is it that you are telling yourself right now? What type of fears and insecurities or doubts are coming up right now? Well, your soul is you. Okay, that is the real you. And your soul wants to learn these things, and it wants to grow. That's why these conflicts are amazing when you look at it like that. Okay, I'm going to have a conflict that my soul has attracted for me. And I'm experiencing this, and I'm seeing it for what it is for the first time ever. And I'm like, this is amazing. And you know what I learned as a result of this? Wow. And that's exactly what I'm here for. That is awesome. Give me more. Okay, that one's done. I'm on a new timeline. I'm ready for something else. Give me something else. And sometimes we have a break, or we have a pause in between, because we need that. So, like, let's say, for example, you're dealing with someone and they're a divine partner, divine soulmate. And if you don't watch my twin flame videos, if you're on a twin flame journey, do check them out. And so let's say, you have a divine partner that you're involved with, and you have a conflict with them, and they are showing you this. And at first you're just like, this is an asshole. This person's an asshole. I'm done. I'm out of here. Really stop and look at the love, because people volunteer in the 5D to play these parts, to teach you these things. So if you look at it as that was a loving move, instead of coming at it from a place of, they're just an asshole, this is a conflict. You know what? But you know what? I'm going to stop focusing on this, because that shit is done and over with. I learned my lesson. Give me another one. Let's do this again. And you might not hear from your partner in between time, because maybe, you need that break to rest and rejuvenate and prepare to have another experience together. Death rites. Saying goodbye, formal occasion, honoring lives. Okay, so with this conflict, there have been some endings. Something has came to an end, and I'm getting that it could be painful. And the message that's coming through is to not be afraid to feel your emotions, because your feelings are really what guide you. Somebody had posted on Facebook this morning that the brain is, basically listen to the brain. The brain's the most powerful instrument. And I'm like, no, the heart is. The heart, that is where your intuition is. And even if you did get hurt, once again, this is something that you signed up for on the soul level. And if this person is supposed to be in your life, they're going to come back. You just have a respite period right now, a rest period. And that was the energy I was getting with this. It's not an ending. It's a rest period. It's a pause. But it is an end to this relationship the way it was. This relationship will never be the same again. And you don't want it to be, because you want to continue learning and changing and growing. Stop trying to go backwards. That message is coming through for some of you. I have the Oracle card, and that was what I was saying earlier about let your heart be your guide. If something triggers you emotionally, instead of resisting it or fighting it, I realized the other day, I used to listen to music all the time. I'm a big, big music person. Anyone who knows me knows I'm a big music person. And I literally have not listened to music for probably not much over like the past 3-4 months. I have not listened to much music. And I realized that I had gotten to the point where music was a trigger for me. And that's the reason why I had avoided it. And avoiding your triggers does not help you grow. A lot of times you have to stand up and you have to really face them. And I know sometimes these triggers can be scary. Sometimes facing our feelings can be scary. But once you do, the power you have. Because basically, once you feel your feelings and you face them, and you're like, oh, this isn't so bad, you're not scared to get hurt anymore because you realize this is not something that's going to kill me. I do whatever it takes to get closer to consciousness. And this is all about being aware and always wanting more than just to scratch the surface. Have you ever wondered why you're here? Am I here for more than just to get my heart broken or to have conflicts with people, to work a job I fucking hate, to be stuck in a dead-end relationship or marriage? I mean, isn't there more to life than this? No, I was stuck in a dead-end marriage for 20 years. I spent 3 days at the park over the weekend watching different types of relationships. And I don't know how many times I would see relationships where it looked like people were just together for convenience, for financial reasons. And you know what? That, to me, would be awful. And you want to, like I said, you want to be in a place to realize that there's way more going on to the universe that meets the eye. You don't have to struggle. Everything doesn't have to be hard once you stop resisting it. But it all starts within, because you really have to really face yourself. Really get to know yourself. And if you're watching my videos, it's because your soul knew you were ready. I don't even care about being popular anymore. I don't even care about being the reader with the most followers. I don't even care about fame or nothing like that. I had, a message I channeled the other day, because a lot of times it's really hard for me because, I do still have some ego involved. To have messages that I channel and then I see other people take them as their own. And I know that that's what they've done because I know what level of consciousness they're on. I know they didn't receive that message, and I'm not trying to be arrogant. I just know. Because I and I'm not trying to judge people, but I just know by where they vibe at and things that they talk about. But basically the message that came through for me was, to be in a place as a spiritual teacher, because that's basically what I am. I'm more of a spiritual teacher than a reader. I do channel messages though, but the way that I teach is different. Is that people are going to resonate with my messages and they're going to spread my messages. And that's all right, because that's what I'm here for. And that's the ego mind telling me that I need fame or whatever for it. So basically the message that I'm getting here, I'm trying to bring it back a little bit, is to realize, like I said, that there's more going on than what meets the eye, and be very, very conscious, very mindful of what comes from ego and what comes from your true authentic self. Because the more you get closer and closer to your true authentic self, and the more that you take off those masks, and the more that you get closer and closer to source energy, you will be more and more connected to the spirit realm, and you will see things, and your own gifts will come through. We have the Three of Compassion, C's. Usually, see, the C's are the same thing as the cups. So this is a feeling, emotions type of energy. And usually with the Three of Cups or Three of C's, it's like a third party energy. But basically what I'm getting here is that this is an illusion. There are no blocks to you being with the person that you're trying to be with. I'm getting for some of you that twin flame energy that you've always been together. Do check out my twin flame videos. Some of you might be on a twin flame journey. I'm getting for some of you that, you know, some of your blocks are workaholicism, that you're working too much and that you're not balanced. And workaholicism is a fear-based energy. You're always, I know because I've been a workaholic my whole life until recently. It's that fear that you have to get out ahead of it and you have to control, and you're not going to have enough. It's coming from lack and scarcity. It's not having, you know, that faith that whatever it is for you, you will have. So I'm getting that's a problem for some of you. But the rest of you, I'm getting, like I said, it's that twin flame energy, that you perceive that there's a third party involved. And there's not. It's like a lot of paranoia. And paranoia is nothing more than extreme fear-based energy. You're telling yourself stories that you're believing. And so that is what's blocking you from love right now. Is that you need to be more trusting and open and vulnerable. And I know that's scary, but once again, like I was saying before, those feelings will not kill you. Because to clarify that Three of C's, we have sacred union. Honor and treasure your relationship, for it is truly sacred. So I'm really getting for a lot of you out there, you have a very soulful connection. It's very spiritual. And when you have that type of situation with another person, you're already in union. In the fifth dimension, you're always together. You're just, like I said, whatever this conflict, this rift is right here, I feel like it's got to do with your perspective and your perception. A lot of times we push people away from us because we have not released the past. We have not released old partners, past relationships. So I'm getting that the message that's coming through for some of you is that you do need to, clear your energy and release your ex. And recognize the fact that you are in a sacred union. It's really deep. All right, we have the ring and the four-leaf clover. And basically the message that I'm getting with both of these cards here was kind of what I was saying earlier, is a lot of times we feel like we need some sort of symbol, or just like I use my altar and my goddess to petition, even though I know that I'm a co-creator with the universe and I know that I can get in my little time travel machine and simulate any type of experience that I want at any given time. In order to have more faith, I have to see it. So basically what I'm getting with this ring, first of all, is a lot of times we feel like we need something to validate our relationship. Something tangible. But the message that's coming through is you need to look at the relationships that you have right now in a higher light. And realize the fact that you do need some sort of validation to know, some sort of title or certificate, to know what your marriage, to know what your relationship is fear-based. And it goes back to trusting your intuition, to really know what it is and what it isn't. And understand our mind can play tricks on us. You can take the same relationship and you can look at it two different ways. And so do take a look at that and stop needing physical external validation for what you already know. And like I said, start looking at this in a higher light as more of a sacred union, more of something that's very spiritual in nature and not so human in 3D. This lucky clover, once again, that goes along with the difference between magic and manifestation is consciousness. Once you raise your consciousness, you realize that you don't need to do the rituals or anything anymore. All you have to do is tell yourself a better story and change your mindset, and it works like magic every time. But it's all about raising your consciousness. But it takes a while, because You have to get through all of the conditioning that you have. But as your chakras open, and like I said, I feel like that's happening for some people. I know what happened for me. It was very physically painful. But I feel like these things are happening for a lot of my viewers. And that's the reason why you guys are watching my videos, to see what's going on. I know it started off, I had like a whole lot of viewers because everyone was trying to figure out, what their ex-partners and stuff were doing, and, if they were going to have, money come to them or whatever. But I more or less now try to teach people how to do that for themselves. Don't depend on me to tell you, because whatever I tell you, you're going to believe is true anyway. So if I sit here right now and say your lover is returning, you're going to believe that. But if you're not ready, because all these other factors are happening, and you don't know what it is that's blocking you, what is standing in between you and what you want, that they're fears in your mindset, then you're not going to manifest it. And that's what my readings are for. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and read this postcard oracle card. Dearest you, and I don't have my glasses on, bear with me. We here on the other side have one important thing to declare. Love is the answer to literally everything. We don't necessarily mean romantic or erotic love, although they are wonderful, but something above and beyond that. Everything alive in the world was first created by love. Spirit sends love to animate life and birth into it into existence. Love is without conditions, and it is based in reverence and a fierce and youthful respect for life. Love thrives when you focus on it, and we want you to turn away from anything that causes it to wane. Love is when you no longer see yourself as others, separate from, better or less than, etc. When you act as love, you give permission to the world to thrive and grow as it will. Can you let go of what is not love and ask, what would love do? Love is waiting for you always and forever. We just adore you over here. And that's what I was talking about, leaving the 3D box of love and realizing that we are love first and foremost, is where we came from. We came from love. And so every time you look at a fear and you face a fear, you send it back out as love. You help to raise the vibrations of the planet, where eventually we won't have to deal with fears. And this may take a while. This may take several timelines, lifetimes, whatever you want to call them. But understand, it's going to happen. It is happening. And that's what my videos are for. And I'm trying to teach higher consciousness. So thank you very much for watching. And if you would like to have a paid reading, where I can let you know what areas are blocking you as far as love, as far as money, or if you'd like to have a past life reading and connect with your soul energy, your soul DNA, your history, and I can let you know what kinds of things come up for you. Those are all $50. I also do twin flame readings. It's all the same price through PayPal or Cash App. So I'll put my information in the description of the video. Thank you for watching.